Nation.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. DNVR Buffs Primetime represented by Illegal Pete's. It's the last day of November. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Days are hard, man.
I know.
Like, I didn't know it was Thursday when I woke up.
My whole world has been just thrown off since basically the start of the week.
I literally wake up, I look at my phone, I go, wow, Thursday already. Allie goes, aren't you on Broncos today? I was like, shit. Yes, I am.
You made it, though, right?
I did. We had a great show.
You guys always have a great show.
Thanks, man.
What is up, chat? How's everyone doing today?
What's up, everyone?
All right, let's just get into it, I guess. Coach Prime is, well, people are mad again.
Good.
But this time, it's because Coach Prime has won SI Sportsperson of the Year.
2023 SI Sports Person of the Year. The obvious and only choice.
Far and away.
Yes. And first and foremost, I highly recommend reading the article. There is some fantastic facts and anecdotes and little quips and things like that in the article. Super well written. I should actually double check who wrote that. But
I'll get you.
if you do read it, it'll become even more obvious to you why Coach Prime is the sports person of the year, because sports, Jake, are a conduit.
Yep.
And obviously they're entertainment based, which Coach Prime dominates, but it can be so much more. And I think we've had like an up close and personal view of that this year. And so not anyone, but it's not uncommon for a athlete or a coach to go out and do something special on the field. But I think what this highlights is how special everything else Coach Prime has done for the University of Colorado, for the Boulder community, for Buffs fans, for the nation. At least, that sounds grandiose, but for the people that believe in him and support him and follow him all over the country and the world, this has been a unprecedented year for Coach Prime. So I think he's the obvious choice. And I just, in this opening part, want to make sure I point this part out, because this is easily, I think, the coolest and most impactful thing that Coach Prime has done. Applications at CU are up 26.4% year over year. That's impressive, right?
Yeah.
Not as impressive as this. African-American applications are up 80.6% at the University of Colorado. And in the article, it says, now this can't directly be attributed to Coach Prime. Yes, it can.
Of course it is.
Yes, it can. I'll do it. I know that, sometimes you got to be whatever. I'll say that. And I've said this before on this show, but I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it a million times. I grew up in Boulder. I went to CU. I love those two places dearly. And I can admit that the one thing that those places lack, being Boulder and CU individually, is diversity. It's always been an issue. And for Coach Prime to walk into Boulder, shed a light on what it is, be welcomed, and then be welcoming to anyone who wants to come here with him, has been remarkable. And the instant impact of that is really, really special. And so, yes, the record and, the success on the field matters for sure. But what Coach Prime did this year goes so far beyond that's why, for me, he was the obvious and only choice for this.
Yeah. I mean, it's a story about culture, combining cultures. It's a story about belief, first and foremost, I think. It's a story about, really just trusting and believing in yourself and persevering, I think, too. What Coach Prime has done, not only for CU, but to Boulder, it's easy to see. I was only here a few months before he got here, and it was easy to see.
Yeah.
So that's just Boulder and Colorado, too. You look at, just at our tailgates, the people that we meet there coming in from all over the country. how he's been able to bring all these people together under the CU banner and really inspire hope. Remember when he was interviewing that kid, or that kid went to interview him at the press conference? I think it was the last one.
Yeah.
And just like moments like that, like that's what it's all about. That's what Coach Prime's about. And I don't know. He's just another reason to stick it to the haters, because Coach Prime does far, far, far more good than people actually think he does, and just goes above and beyond in almost everything he does.
It's absolutely true, and it's so cool, like, just to see it from the inside, because it's so easy to hate from the outside.
Yeah,
when you just close your eyes and you blind yourself to anything that he's actually doing, and you just say, like, I don't like the fact that he wears a gold chain with a whistle on it. Like,
yeah,
that's just too flashy for me. But when you actually get to see the impact that he has on people, and the opportunities that he provides for people and the way that he cares about others, I think it's really, really cool. So to all the haters out there, I know you're always watching, actually read the article.
Yeah.
You should, because I think you'll learn a little something. Now, I know you don't want to learn something, and that's how you ended up in this position that you are right now, because you never wanted to learn anything. But maybe for once, just try. Read the article. See how you feel about Coach Prime after that.
And we still haven't even hit a year yet.
What is it, a year early next week?
I believe it's December 3rd.
Yep.
Sunday, the day before the portal opens.
I want to read one more little excerpt from this Sports Illustrated article, because this illustrates something totally different that I've talked about, which is the impact that a strong athletics, and namely football program, can have on you as a university.
Absolutely.
And I have always beat this drum because it's so obvious to me, but can be so hard for others to see.
Mm-hmm.
So here it goes. In the Colorado Chancellor's office, a delighted smile spreads across the face of 77-year-old Phil DiStefano as he tells a story from earlier this year. One of the school's 5 Nobel laureates was recruiting a nationally acclaimed scientist from California to join the faculty. The laureate wanted to set up a campus visit to interview, and the chemist agreed on one condition. Quote, she wanted to meet Deion Sanders. He met with her for 45 minutes, DiStefano says. On her way out, he said, here's my telephone number. Give me yours. I call all of my recruits after they visit. Incredible stuff.
Always recruiting.
Incredible stuff. He's not just recruiting for football. He's not just recruiting for women's basketball. He's recruiting for the science department.
Yeah.
Just, and again, he wants everything around him to succeed. Everyone around him to be elevated. It's not just about Coach Prime, as so many people love to say. Just a lovely little anecdote. And the other best anecdote in here, which should be shared, is from the lead of the story, which is setting the scene for the cover photo shoot for Sports Illustrated. And I'll just read the whole paragraph because I think it's great. The coach of Colorado is surrounded by his people, his agent, the school's chancellor, and the athletic director. And 99-year-old superfan Peggy Copham were among the entourage. As the photo crew poured over details, Sanders lobbed one-liners at his son, social media maven Deion Jr., Buffalo's quarterback Shador, and safety Shiloh. He wrapped his arm around his daughter, Colorado basketball player Shalomai, kissing her on the temple. He bent over to speak to tiny Peggy so she could hear him. Peggy is Deion's match in terms of personality. Quote, I thought I was coming for the swimsuit edition, she said. Legend.
Peggy's the best, man. The actual GOAT. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy to think that all this happened already in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's made clear by this too, and it's something that a lot of people, I guess, look past or just don't even consider because it's always about, oh, what's Coach Prime's next move? But he just loves CU, man. And it's so dope to see. I mean, he's embraced it all. He's embraced Peggy. The relationship he has with Rick George. I mean, the stuff he says about the chancellor, like obviously the women's basketball program and Coach Payne, he just absolutely loves CU, and it's so cool to see him really put his whole heart into it and give back to the university as much as he can.
I think it's one of the reasons why he's so successful in everything that he does. He doesn't do anything half.
Yeah.
He comes to Colorado. He wants to lean all the way into Colorado, and that's something that allows you to be successful. What's the name of Jonathan Smith? Did you see his introductory? I don't even know what that was. Like, did they catch him when he got off his flight or something? Because it wasn't an introductory press conference. It was like a
it was like
they got a camera on him in a hallway. Yeah. And they're asking him all these questions about Michigan State, and he just completely fumbled the whole opportunity by being like, I don't know yet, but I'm really looking forward to learning more.
Yes.
And it's like, man, you took this job and you didn't bother to come with a couple one-liners about their tradition or their success or a legendary player or a game.
It makes it sound like he was really just trying to find any job to get out.
Yes, and it looks like you're doing it for the money or whatever. Whereas Coach Prime, he shows up and he knows about Rashawn Salam and Cordell Stewart, and he does the video with Ralphie. I realize that Jonathan Smith hasn't had time to do all that yet, but even just from day one, it felt like, Coach Prime is bought in. To what he's getting himself into, not just here for, as they would say on The Bachelor, the wrong reasons.
Right. I go back to the introductory press conference every time, man, because I didn't know what to expect before that point. Obviously, never met or spoke to the man, never been in the same room as him. And we just talked about him while he was coaching another team for 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
And so he comes in, and just the part in his speech where he's like, these people you guys just really want to win.
Yep.
And darn it, I'm going to give you that. That type of stuff. That was when it was this actually does mean something to him. And it was just really cool to see.
Yep, absolutely. So it's been a hell of a year.
Not even a year yet.
It's year one, man. Year one. It's only just begun. But I think that this article dropped at a perfect time, and I do feel that timing is never accidental when it comes to the greats. It's not accidental that Coach Prime will be on Good Morning America on Monday morning, the day that the portal opens. But I do feel like this dropped at a perfect time because the season didn't end the way anyone wanted it to. And I think not you and I or a lot of the people in this chat, but I do think some people lost perspective on what actually happened here.
Yes.
6 losses in a row can take it out of you, and it was a setback. But when you take a moment and you read this article, I think it gives you a chance to zoom out a little bit. And we've talked about perspective a lot, but a lot of our perspective is about where they came from as a football program. I think this perspective opens it up to so much more, and just makes you remember what is happening here is special and unique and rare, and wins and losses in the end will be what determine the success or failure of this from a large scale. But one of the reasons why I'm always so positive when it comes to things about Coach Prime is because of the fact that this has already been a success.
No doubt.
It's already been a massive success to what he's done here for the University of Colorado. So perfect timing on the article.
Sports Illustrated also spoke to Constance. There's an article from her in there too. I think there's quite a few, actually. It's obviously just kind of an episode edition of the magazine about Coach Prime and just everything he's done this last year and the people who helped him get to this point. Anything else?
No, Alex in the comments saying what actually happened. Go read the article. Just go read it. It's not that hard. Well, maybe it is, but
thank you for carrying that segment. I got us all set up for the next one now.
Let's go.
Shout out to our friends at Hestra Job Gloves. If you need to get shit done, get some Hestra Job Gloves. Of course, the cold weather is coming. Don't be shoveling out the snow with your ski gloves. Use your Hestra Job Gloves. They're comfortable, they're warm, and they're extremely durable. They got tons of different styles, and they're great for year-round work on DIY projects, gardening, construction, all kinds of stuff. They're also made from high-end materials and create longer lasting, better fitting work gloves. Visit www.hestrajob.us and use code DNVRJOB to get 30% off your next purchase. And anyone looking to supply their team with high quality work gloves at a bulk rate can email Josh Jacobson at josh@hestrausa.com. And then our friends at Game Time. Whatever city you're in.
They got me into the game last night.
They did.
There was only a couple tickets, but Game Time actually had hooked me up with a credit, so I didn't have to pay the ridiculous prices thanks to Game Time. But they're always there for you. They're always there for you.
They are. Game Time hooked me up with a credit a few weeks ago, and I got into a Nuggets game because of them.
Also, Vanessa, let us know what flavor of Olipop you had. And Alyssa, can you screenshot Vanessa's comment?
We will get
Dr.
to
Vanessa,
Olipop
excuse me.
in a bit too. But shout out to Game Time. Holidays are coming up. One of the best gifts for the sports fan in your life is to buy them some tickets. Football, basketball, whatever it is. Also, just whatever's going on in your city. Concerts, events. Check out Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price. Guaranteed. All right.
You got lost in the comments there for a second.
I'm a little brain fogged today.
Okay.
Had a long night. Do
Let's
we want to
talk
talk
about
about? Do we want to talk about this basketball game right now?
Let's talk about it real quick.
All right, we'll get to portal stuff here very shortly.
Dr. Vanessa went Tropical Punch, trying root beer next.
You're a big root beer fan.
I am. Root beer has made my list of top pops.
Cream soda is still the number one, bro.
Cream soda is the
It just
GOAT.
can't be topped.
It is the GOAT. But root beer's right there.
All right. Well, you said it on the show, right? That I was prepared. I should be prepared for quite an experience.
I did. I tried to warn you. I said it's the worst media setup you'll ever experience.
And you were spot on in that. That was a nightmare. I literally would have been better off staying home than going to that game last night. Not because they lost. It's not because of the outcome of the game. It's because I literally could not do what I was supposed to do there.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do anything either.
It was crazy.
Let me start by saying this. Fantastic atmosphere for a college basketball game.
It was great, yeah.
I said it on the show yesterday. I said it's going to be a great atmosphere in there. I'm sure of that. And credit to CSU, man. They're a good team. They're a good basketball team. I think we would win at home. And I think neutral floor would be a little bit closer. But all around, good game, fun atmosphere. And you know me, I'm a silver linings guy. I think I would trade a loss for finding out that Cody Williams is a dog.
Bro.
And that's what we found out last night.
Shout out to KJ Simpson, too.
Yep. We already knew he was a dog.
Of course. But damn, he is really taking it to another level this year.
He has. And Cody took it to another level last night. Like, the way he was attacking and finishing around the rim was special. Also, his Euro step, I'm pretty sure can cover from the three-point line to the rim.
Yeah.
And then his length when they were trapping at the end of the game, like, they need to have him be the point man on trap just every game at some point.
Yep. He's a problem. He had 0 points in the first half. Finished with 21.
Wow, 21 points in the second half is crazy.
He went 8 of 12 from the floor. Had 3 rebounds, no assists. He was just, I mean, he kind of just took over, basically. They needed an injection of just scoring and just overall offense. The ball was dead in the first half, basically. And Cody was just like, I'm good. I'll just take over from here.
Yeah.
I'll just take it to the hole every time.
Yeah, it was great to see. Wait, so tell me why you couldn't do your job.
Oh, okay. So we walk into the arena. Obviously, great atmosphere, all that, whatever. Justin is like, all right, you got to go up there. I was like, wait, what? This isn't what I was told or where I had to go. Because you were telling me I'm like in the students and all this stuff. So I was.
Did you see what I was talking about?
Yeah, I was ready for it. I was like, all right, let's just make it happen then.
Yeah.
No, I've got to walk up to the rafters of the stadium. We get up there.
How'd you get up there? Stairs?
I literally had to walk to the back of the arena and then up like the rafter thing. Like,
oh my god!
We could have walked out the door and been on the catwalks above the stadium.
God.
Yes.
You should have done that. Is there any sign that says you couldn't do that?
No.
Damn, you should have like gotten a picture from right above. That would have been sick.
I mean,
are you afraid of heights?
I kind of am. Yeah, not gonna lie.
I could just tell when I was saying that. You could see the like trepidation in his eyes.
No, I was good in the the students were like jumping. That box was like shaking.
Oh my god!
It wasn't great. Anyways, I show up, walk in there, and there's literally like, I mean, it's not a very big box. It's maybe the size of this studio, which is, I don't know, 25, 30 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's, no joke, like 20 chairs just right next to each other. So we couldn't sit down. People were like standing in the box there.
Oh my god! Why didn't you like move some chairs out?
Well, we eventually did because we had like NBA scouts up there, and they obviously were like, "Fuck this," and headed out.
Oh my!
I didn't even get to the worst part of this is that the Wi-Fi was just down and just not working all night.
Yep.
I think I finally got a connection with like 8 minutes left in the first half. Literally had no tweets the entire game until that point.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's a mess. Not exactly a marvel of what's the word I'm looking for? Architecture.
Yes.
It's so funny that you were. So I was literally like, if I had a broom, I could have like hit the floor below you.
Yeah.
Because I was right below this like thing. I was like, what is that? And I think Allie actually is like, I think that there's people in there. I was like, what? No way. And then sure enough, we see a door open. Someone walks out of it. We're like, holy shit, there are people in there. And then I saw a picture from the other side. It's like if you took what are those like giant storage containers called? Are they
Pods?
Kind of, yeah. But like they started like building like houses out of them and everything.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, it's like if you took one of those and just suspended it from the rafters. That's like what you guys were in.
Pretty much. Like it was probably just like bolted on like to the ceiling or something.
Yeah. I usually don't like when media complains about their conditions that they're working under, but this one's just funny.
Oh, I gotta tell you about someone who lost their fucking mind last night.
Yes. I love these stories.
I didn't see it because I was up in that box, but I heard it from RG and Justin.
Okay, I have some guesses. Shipping containers. Like that goes on like, like boats.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like you guys were inside of.
Yep. It's pretty much what it was.
Were you scared that it was just going to fall out of the sky?
I really did not like when they started jumping, bro. I really didn't like that.
To be honest, it did not look like it had very much structural integrity.
No, it didn't feel like it. But yeah, anyways, the internet was just terrible. So I don't know. I'd get a tweet out, and then I'd be just watching stat broadcast, and then I'd see the time would stop.
Yeah.
Like, we're just watching the game
back
now.
To the drawing board.
Yeah. So it was just, I don't know, weird game.
Anyways,
let's talk about the portal. The big news today, Dante Moore, former UCLA quarterback now, formerly the #1 overall recruit in the country last year, has entered the portal. I think he played a handful of games. I don't think he's able to redshirt from what I remember off the top of my head. He might be able to, but this guy was highly touted. Picked UCLA over like Michigan, Oregon, all these schools. Yep. He's in the portal. Chip Kelly was someone who was rumored to potentially be on the hot seat. He ends up beating USC, and then it comes out, I think, on like Sunday that they're going to keep him.
Yeah, which makes it more surprising that Moore is transferring.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting part. Like the transfer portal, I've talked about it a little bit recently, but like the transfer portal has become crazier than we could have ever expected. And I just think everyone is looking for a better opportunity at all times now. For whatever reason, I guess a lot of times, especially in this case where nothing's changing, like it's almost an admission, like I made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
But you get a mulligan. now in college football. And so I don't remember. What were Moore's stats? I don't think they were very good.
They weren't very. I mean, Garber started a lot, and Schlee played quite a bit as well.
Yep. And then I'm pretty sure against the Buffs, Schlee was 0 for 1 with an interception to Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
The other one is Jaden Rashada, and his stats were also terrible.
And still led the Sun Devils in passing touchdowns,
He
like
did,
3.
3 like that. I think he had all in his first game.
Crazy. All right, I'm pulling up the game log right now. So Dante Moore actually played quite a bit. Threw 213 passes last year. Completed 53% of his passes, 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Looked to be sacked quite a bit too. Has minus 83 rushing yards on the season.
So not good. And the reason I bring this up is not to like shit on Dante Moore. It just goes to something that I talked about when Antoine Hill was committed. And I said, you don't want to have to pass the reins to a true freshman. You really don't want to. And a lot can change between now and when Shedeur inevitably goes to the NFL. But it's a cautionary tale because it is so rare that a true freshman quarterback comes in and dominates. And 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions compared to what Shedeur did this year, which was what? Like 30-3 or something?
28-3, something like that.
That's going to lose you football games.
Yep.
And Rashad is the same way. It's just really hard to come in and do it from Jump Street. So that's why I wanted to talk about that when Dante Moore's name came up. Is like, you want to try and get the pathway built. You know, maybe it's Staub's staying and having 2 years, you know, to really get ready. And then he comes in and then there's a highly touted freshman who's behind him. And like, you want to be able to stack it that way. So you're passing the torch to someone who's been around.
Yep. So to go through the timeline, Dante Moore committed to Oregon on July 8th, 2022. Was committed all the way until last December. Then he took an official visit to UCLA on the 9th. And then 10 days later on the 19th, flipped to UCLA. So Oregon's going to be in the conversation, I'm sure. I mean, every school, I think, that sent an offer to him is probably going to reach out again.
Yep.
Because it literally wasn't even a year ago he was being recruited.
A couple people in the comments have mentioned getting Cam Ward to be Shedeur's replacement. Cam Ward is getting offered millions of dollars to go be the starter at like the top schools in the country that are losing their quarterback this year. So he's not coming to Boulder, unfortunately, even though we love him.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Great pronunciation.
Thank you. Another for now, yeah. Another one of, I think, second overall recruit back in the 2020 class. Obviously had the game of his life against Notre Dame when he played for Clemson in that year. Goes to Oregon State. We know what's going on there. Everything is just in flux, really, with that program. They do have a head coach now. They hired the DC, I believe. But he's entered the portal.
Yeah, that's... I saw someone being like, this is the problem with college football. It's like, he's transferring because they don't have a program left.
He kind of got screwed over.
Yeah, he did. He went there to go play for Jonathan Smith and compete in the Pac-12.
Yes.
None of those things are still there.
No.
So I don't blame him at all. I do feel bad for our faithful Oregon State watchers that we have.
Yep.
But of course he's transferring, and he's a grad transfer, so he can do it. Like, you really kind of get 2 free transfers if you just have to space them out properly.
Yep. Damian Martinez, I saw, that's Oregon State's running back. He had a quote saying that he's pretty much just going to stay.
Who's that?
Damian Martinez.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see some sort of exodus from Washington State and Oregon State coming up here soon. E.J. Smith, former Stanford running back.
Son of Emmett
has entered the portal. He's been at Stanford a few years now. Class of 2020 was the 109th overall recruit in that class. I think he had a pretty decent season, or was working up for a decent season 2 years ago and then got hurt. I don't remember him playing at all during the Stanford game this year.
I think he did get in there a little bit.
Okay.
Yep. Because I remember turning to the people next to me and being like, that's Emmitt Smith's son. Maybe he was their kick returner or something along those lines. I mean, that's an obvious one, right?
Of course.
Now, you could make the argument that Colorado doesn't need more crowdedness in their running back room. What's the word I'm looking for there? Whatever. You guys get the point. That being said, every school in the country has like 8 running backs that they think are solid. Especially the top ones. I remember, was it Mike Sanford? Yeah, when we did our sit down with Mike Sanford, he was like, man, we're playing USC and Travis Dye gets injured. And you're like, oh, okay, like maybe a little break for the defense. Like the next guy came in, I think he was better than him. So, a lot of those big schools, like there's the old stories of Alabama. Obviously, this is a place we're trying to get, but like Alabama with like Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, like all of these different people in the same running back room. So it's you do want talent there, but you also want to make sure that the guys that you have that you like get proper opportunities. But that being said, the E.J. Smith, Emmitt Smith, Coach Prime connection is clear. And there's another one with a connection.
We'll do him right now. Jordan Clark has entered the portal. Arizona State cornerback. He was actually one of their representatives at Pac-12 Media Day back in July. Again, the son of Ryan Clark, 5'11", 168, out of Louisiana, was a top 400 player in the 2019 recruiting class. I think he's got 1 year of eligibility left. But him and Jalen Conyers, come on down.
Let's go. Give us the whole Pac-12 Media Day squad.
PHNX is going to hate us.
Yeah, they are. But give me Jalen Conyers and Jordan Clark. That'd be awesome. And Jordan Clark can play, man.
Yep. And then we have Braylon James also entered the portal.
Who's that?
He's a wide receiver who committed to Notre Dame back in January. He was in the 2023 recruiting class, was a 247 Sports Composite 4-star, 137th overall player in the country, 22nd overall wide receiver from Round Rock, Texas. He entered the portal. I do not see you did offer. I don't know if that was before or after Coach Prime got here or not. I don't think he necessarily did too much this last year. I don't remember that name off the top of my head. I could be completely wrong, though. And then we've got Braden Rome, offensive tackle out of Cal. He said he's played in over 25 games. I think he started something like 12. 6'6", 270 out of Gilbert, Arizona. That's where Cody Williams is from. Was a 247 Sports Composite 3-star in the 2019 recruiting class, but has obviously proved himself at Cal at the Power 5 level. I think he has 1 year to play. He is in the portal. DJ Wesolak out of Missouri. Arden Walker tweeted this guy.
Yes.
Was one of the best recruits in the 2022 recruiting class, 166th overall player, 15th overall edge, out of Boonville, Missouri. He has entered the portal.
How about this one? 2022 first team all-SEC wide receiver Antoine Wells out of South Carolina. I think he was hurt this year, but he enters the transfer portal. Maybe an option for your Zay replacement.
There you go.
There's a couple more here that I found notable. Give me 1 second. You mentioned the Missouri kid. Oh, Trevor Etienne.
No, that was fake.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know. I saw that too.
Dang. I was like, only reason I was going to bring it up is because of Travis Etienne's tweet saying that maybe Trevor needs to go play for Coach Prime. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, actually. Okay, I mean, so who knows?
Not Trevor Etienne yet. It's the only thing you can say about anyone when it comes to the portal is not yet.
I mean, man, Florida is kind of a mess.
But they did have a Florida wide receiver who was actually transferred.
Yes.
You want to try the name?
Yes. Ty Chakiel Bowman.
Nice.
He was a JUCO recruit in the 2022 recruiting class out of Independence Community College. I think that's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 6'2", 190. I feel like the name Chakiel Bowman sounds familiar.
Navarro Bowman, maybe in your head?
No, like, I don't know.
Okay.
But he's in the portal. And then I've got...
Damn, these fake portal entries are getting everyone. There's an Evan Stewart one that I saw that I thought was real. Turns out it was fake.
Evan Stewart, is that
He's a Texas A&M wide receiver, I believe.
I don't know. Let me see. Last one I have is San Diego State offensive tackle Cade Bennett, 6'5", 295. Was a recruit back in 2020. I think he enrolled initially to Oklahoma State, made his way to San Diego State, so I'm assuming he's a graduate. But he is available as well.
There you go.
And then
Someone in the comments, I think it was Travis, said we need more wide receivers? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. You always need more wide receivers.
Of course you do.
And my real answer to this is Colorado is losing their most productive wide receiver. And you can sit there and just hope that someone steps into that role that you already have on the roster. Obviously, Omari and Miller would be the number one candidate to do that.
Right.
But as I think we talked about on Monday, he hasn't yet shown the ability to find openings the way that Zay has. Mm-hmm. And that's just a talent that takes time to develop. You know, a lot of these guys come from high school. They're big, they're fast, they're strong. They don't have to. They just go catch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Whereas now you show up and like just running your route to the exact depth that Shedeur is expecting you to can be the difference between another 1st and 10 and then 2nd and 10. And it happened a couple times with a couple different guys this year where they just Shedeur's expecting them to stop one yard shorter. Yep. They ran 1 yard longer, and the ball whizzed by their shoulder as they turned around.
Yep.
And so I'm not saying, can't do that, because I think you can. Mm-hmm. But you go into the portal and you try to find a guy who you know can do that, and has put up 1,000-yard seasons or close to it, and knows where zone coverages have weak spots.
Ramad Chakiel Bowman.
Who's that?
That's who I was thinking. He played wide receiver at Northwestern.
Okay. Nice.
Just a random name that stuck in my mind from back then. Evan Stewart, I don't see that he has entered the portal.
No, that's what I was saying. It was a fake post.
Yeah, be careful out there, man. It's that time of year.
Is fake portal stuff? I feel like that's a new one this year.
I mean, I was able to ring off 3 tweets calling programs dead, and they all blew up. So
it's true. It's true. I mean, I think it blew up because most people knew what you were doing, and then it reached people who didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah. I became the troll.
Yeah. You trolled the trolls.
It was hilarious. I had a ton of fun. All right, that's all I got on the portal. Let's see if anything coming through last minute. All right, we're good. Shout out to our friends at Breckenridge Brewery. For like the 5th month in a row, the Broncos Country Pale Ale is the beer of the month here at the DNVR bar. And you know what? Don't change it because the Broncos have been winning.
Let's go.
Keep
As
it rolling.
I said on the Broncos show today, the Broncos are going to finish the season on an 11-game win streak. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the Broncos and Buffs were never allowed to win on the same weekend.
That's true.
There's only one win per the two teams. Well, the Buffs don't have any more games, so Broncos aren't losing.
Man, if they make the playoffs, I'm losing my mind. We only have 2 home games left, too. Did you know that?
Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Buck said Travis can't replace Zay, huh? Travis is playing the Travis role next year, not the Zay role.
Right. Like, they were on the field together.
Yeah.
Travis can't play the backside X and the play side Z at the same time.
Exactly. Like, he could, but that's not what he's supposed to do.
That's not the two-way ability we're talking about, though.
Yes, exactly.
But anyways, Breckenridge Brewery has a beer for any occasion. Come hang out at the DNVR bar. We got tons of them on tap. You can try out some of our favorites: Mountain Beach Sour, Mile High City Golden, Strawberry Sky, Broncos Country Pale Ale, and the Fun Slinger. Or just come out to our tailgates. We've got tons of those and Good Company hard seltzers. Check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
Broncos tailgates have been jumping. Last year, it was like, man, this space is sick, but it's a little too big for us.
Yeah.
This year, it's like, this place is sick, but it might be a little too small for us.
Yep. They've really gotten popping compared to last year.
Yep.
And then shout out to Olipop. We've already talked a bunch about Olipop today, but we got to give them their flowers. It's a new kind of soda. It can also help you improve your gut health. It's packed with 9 grams of prebiotics in every can. Also much lower in sugar than conventional sodas with only 2 to 5 grams of sugar from natural sources. They got tons of flavors. I mean, put a number on it. How many Olipop flavors do you think are out there?
20?
At least.
Yeah.
You could try some of our favorites: the cream soda, the root beer, orange squeeze, classic grape. Tons more. Use the code DNVR20 for 20% off your next Olipop order on drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country, including King Soopers, Safeway, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. All right, Alyssa, what are you trying to do to me here?
I feel like this is so fitting since it's portal season of the name game.
I got to get my workout, yeah.
All right, so explain the game and the rules.
I don't think there's any rules.
Okay.
But so I just picked names. I think I picked 7 of them. 2 are like rap R&B artists, and then the rest are athletes.
Okay.
Oh God.
Jake has to try and pronounce.
Okay,
Just me?
Well,
I'll
Ryan
play
can
along too.
Yeah.
Here's the rule. There's no pausing.
Yeah.
So you have to say the name fully all the way through without skipping or along.
Am I allowed to mentally process my pronunciation
Yes,
now?
yes.
Okay.
You get a 5-second shot clock.
5 seconds, that's it?
That should be enough time to
Oh
read
my
a name.
God. Oh, you guys are just setting me up for disaster here.
That's the point.
It's going to be fun. Okay, are you ready?
We're ready. I think I know this one. Gene Aiko?
I would have gone with Gene Aiko. You
Close.
paused.
Close. It's Janae.
Oh.
Oh my God.
We should have known with the.
With the E, yeah.
Is that's an artist?
Yeah, she's an R&B artist.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my God. Alexander Zinchenko?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
He's a soccer player for Arsenal.
I was
Hell
guessing.
yeah.
That sounds like a hockey player.
That sounds like an opera singer or something.
Alexander Zinchenko. All right, take your time.
All right. Ivan Prosvetov?
Dang.
Pretty good.
Let's go.
These ones, see the like Russian names like this are usually pretty phonetical.
True.
There's just a lot of words.
Oh my God. Sandro Mamakalavashkila. I can't do that. Say it, Alyssa. How do you pronounce
Hold
that?
on. Let me try.
You go, yeah.
I can't see it.
Hang on.
Sandro Mamokilashvili.
So Harrison sent me this one. Sandro Mamukilashvili.
You can't even do it.
I think I got it right.
I think you might have.
Mamokilashvili.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. That's a dub.
Okay, you should get this one too.
Oh, that's easy. That's all about Albert Okwegbunam.
No. Albert Okwebunam.
Whatever, man.
That's easy, he says, and then butchers it.
But I have like one like syllable pronounced wrong. It's everyone calls him Albert O.
Yep, that is true. Is that the last one?
I got 2 more.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, God.
Do
Jaquez?
you want to?
Jaquez?
Jacquees.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
That was he made an appearance at Buffs game this year, at least one.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
It was that one. Remember, you were like, "Do you know who this guy is? The king of R&B." I think is his Twitter handle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I remember now.
Okay, last one.
R&B is a bit of a blind spot for me.
Me too.
And it's not that I don't like it. I'm just not in tune.
Oh my God. Fa'alili e fa'amoe.
That's pretty good. Fa'alili fa'amo.
I don't know how to say this one at all. But he's Washington State's offensive lineman.
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, the one that you messed up the most was the Sandro, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Although I thought his name was Sambo. Anyways.
See, I'm not as bad as you guys all think I am.
I completely disagree.
Wow, man. Come on.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Melanin Film says that's the fake king of R&B, though, Alyssa.
Dang.
I didn't say he was.
She said that's his Instagram or Twitter handle.
Okay.
I did not say that.
Thank you, Vanessa. No, I'm proud of my performance. We can always do better. There's always room for improvement.
Uh-huh.
But I think we accomplished what we set out to do.
I would say, what was the phrase? You're not where you want to be, but you're not where you came from. Something like that.
Yes.
Everyone's really encouraging you in the chat.
Wow. Now I'm getting texts wondering how I messed up Janae Aiko or whatever how did you say it?
Janae Aiko. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I hadn't heard that one.
I know she was like featured on a Drake song a long ass time ago, but that's about
which one?
I don't know. I just remember seeing the name from that.
Okay.
What song is it, Alyssa?
I'd have to look it up. Let's see.
Let me see.
All
From
right.
Time.
Which one?
From Time.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
I'm proud of myself.
I know Janelle Monáe.
I don't know who that is.
All right.
They do keep me on my toes.
The names, yes, they keep you sharp. They keep you sharp.
When
you said don't do Janae like that, I'm sorry.
What do you want me to do, man?
I'll go. I'll do some homework. I'll go listen. I'm open to all music.
She's really good. I like her a lot.
All right, shout out to our friends at Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the bright weather ahead. Strong, durable frames and extremely clear polarized optics. Shady Rays has, hundreds and hundreds of combinations. Shop their entire collection at the Park Meadows Mall or go online to shadyrays.com. Today is the last day for their biggest sale of the year. It's their Black Friday sale. Don't miss out on the best deals for shades, snow goggles, and prescription sunglasses. Go to shadyrays.com and try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. My pronunciations are getting better. They say.
No.
Give me some credit, damn it. Oh, my God. And then shout out to Breckenridge Distillery.
Oh, yeah.
They've got tons of great bourbons and whiskeys. They also have the Broncos Blizzard, a new vodka commemorating the first white alternate Broncos helmets. Try some of their Riki seltzers. We've got those here at the DNVR bar. They're at Mile High. Keep an eye out for them. They're clutch, but also be careful. Breckenridge Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer. Visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits. What is the slogan? I'm not saying it.
Give us a try.
I'm not saying it. You guys already made me do a pronunciation game. I'm not saying it.
We told you yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did tell him the right pronunciation. You gotta. You can't say I'm getting better and then not be able to get it one day after we told it to you.
Because I'm going to say it wrong, and I don't want to say it wrong.
Honestly, you not saying it is just as funny as you.
I'm looking
attempting
out
and
for
failing.
Breckenridge Distillery here.
Opera anywhere.
There you go. Thank you.
Just drop the S. APRE. Opry.
Opry anywhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, can't wait to
You
forget
just
that
undid
one.
all of your. You said you were getting better, then you couldn't even get a word that we told you how to pronounce yesterday.
I don't know what you want from me.
But that has become a whole thing in the DNVR office about how no one knows opera.
What is that, French?
It is French. I think. Feels French.
It definitely sounds like it.
All right. The
Questions.
people. Let's talk to the people who are disappointed in our lack of R&B knowledge.
I mean, I try. I don't know what you want me to do, man. Sorry. I am who I am. Ray says, my cousins traveled to Boulder from Ohio for a game and can't stop talking about it. Loved it. Loved Boulder. Loved a breakfast spot named Dots. Have you all been to Dots?
Oh, yeah.
I have
Dots
not been
is
to
fire.
Dots.
Dots Diner.
Just
There
a
used
regular,
to be 2 in Boulder.
just a regular diner?
I feel like that's downplaying it. It's,
Well, not like
yeah, no, I know.
just like
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Boulder doesn't really have diners. So when I first had Dots, I was like, damn, this is sick. Like, just the whole, like, kind of, like, 60s vibe in there and all that. What?
He's so right.
John Denera, the GOAT, for sure. It's all these, like, words that get taken from other languages and then used in ours.
obviously.
Someone was like, most of the names weren't American names, so you're okay, Jake.
I mean,
I need CU to up their Polynesian recruiting just to watch Jake struggle.
no. I mean, I already did Chalky Al Bowman today, and there's definitely going to be more. The Notre Dame guy from yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, we're just
thing
getting
is, like,
started.
The first time you talked about Cam McKell, you said Michael, and then I was like, "Are you sure about that one?" You're like, "Yep, 100%
Okay.
sure." And then you've wavered since
No,
then.
I literally heard Josh Newberg call him Cam Michael, and I thought it was Mikel.
He's guessing just like you.
I guess so, but then I watched him commit live on Instagram, and one of his coaches is there and calls him Cam Michael.
Ooh.
Why don't they have pronunciation guides? Like, I tried to look up that Southern Miss guy yesterday, and there's no.
Yeah.
Jaquan, what's his name?
Scott.
I
Scott?
think it's Jaquan. They in the chat said. I think.
Jaquan Scott. They need to put pronunciation guides on these guys' rivals profiles.
Yes.
Or 24/7 profiles, or on their huddle.
I agree. I don't know. I'm trying my best here, okay? Devera Scott. Arcade your love and realistic approach to the need for diversity because of Prime. In your show, I will head to Boulder next year, put on in the pre-snow era. After all, I'm a San Diego girl.
Love it. Can't wait to have you out
Thank
here.
you, Devara.
And yes, our weather doesn't quite compare to San Diego's.
No. It ain't bad, though.
It's kind of funny, like, in the San Diego State press conference that I watched yesterday,
Yeah.
all they talk about is the weather.
That's
Like,
it?
that's their
That's all
thing.
they have?
That's what we got. We got the weather.
Well, that's why no one cares about the sports out there.
Yeah, I know. It was funny though. Like, every single person that talked referenced the weather. The athletic director, the president, Sean Lewis, all got multiple weather references. And, like, to be fair, the weather there is so elite.
It is.
But
I mean,
it's a funny thing in, like, a football press conference to talk that much about weather.
I mean, if San Diego's a 10, we're literally a 9. Maybe an 8.5 if you want to argue because of winter.
Yeah, I give us an 8.5.
I mean, it's not far off. Sean Lewis just enjoyed a year out here.
Yep. It's the thing about San Diego is it's, like, so predictable.
It is. That is true.
It's like gonna be like 75 and sunny every day.
Yep.
Maybe a little sprinkle of rain.
Very true. Speaking of Sean Lewis and the offensive coordinator, read the article that I stayed up way too late writing last night on the DNVR.com. 10 potential candidates for CU's offensive coordinator position.
How many we got watching, Alyssa? 1,100 watching, 339 likes.
Looks like it.
Let's get that to 500. Come on, guys.
Crush the like button and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Mr. Support Friend says, if the portal was around when Tom Brady was at Michigan, do you think he would have entered the portal his sophomore year? Great question.
Is he getting into Michigan history with Jake over here?
Yeah.
I'll scroll on my phone while you guys
Tom
talk
Brady
about
and
this.
Drew Henson? You don't know about this?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Tell me the tales, Jake.
I mean,
Take me back to when you were 2 years old.
I was like 5 at the time. But Tom Brady came in. Obviously wasn't a very highly touted recruit.
Yeah.
Played. Drew Henson comes in. He was a very highly touted recruit. And Lloyd Carr was kind of just between the two. And Henson ended up playing, wasn't really playing as well. Had to go back to Brady. And I think it was over the course of like both of their careers, basically. Like this wasn't a 1 year thing.
But I assume Brady still wasn't that good.
He wasn't bad.
Okay.
I mean, he got
6th round
drafted,
pick?
bro. Yeah. Beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that's different Alabama. But.
sure, but Brady did something. He beat Ohio State. Like,
Okay. All right.
there you go.
Good story.
Thank you.
You never answered the question. Would he have entered the portal? Probably.
Man, probably.
Yeah. If you go back, you could probably like take away Heisman's from several schools. Like, oh, would have entered the portal.
Yep.
Wouldn't get it.
Yep. I mean, shoot, go back to Tim Tebow. Remember Chris Leak and Tim Tebow? Like that whole thing?
Yeah. Yep. Wasn't Cam Newton around too?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
Cam Newton did transfer out. He got in trouble, though, obviously.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, lots of situations like that.
All right. From Dioso Blanco, who I think I recently learned is a CSU fan.
He is a CSU fan.
So how is the portal supposed to work? Once kids are in the portal, teams reach out and try to convince them to come while also trying to raise NIL money. Can teams coordinate with money sources? Kinda. Everything in college football exists in a gray area.
Yes, of course. I mean,
So once you enter the portal, teams can reach out to you. Unless you're Riley Leonard, is that
Yes.
his name? Who we always learn some new term every offseason in college football.
Yep.
And this year we've learned enter the portal with a no contact tag.
yeah,
Which means don't call me, I'll call you.
yes,
Which also means Texas A&M offered me a fuck ton of money to not talk to anyone else.
Right.
I'm guessing.
pretty much. So yeah, that's the one discrepancy. I mean, I don't know. These programs, like the coaching staffs and the boosters, are so intertwined. They kind of both know what's going on from the NIL perspective, from the recruiting perspective. So they obviously come together and they've realized that, we got to gather this amount of money if we want to get this guy, basically.
Yeah, and usually it's done more with like a middleman than it is with the coach. Like a lot of coaches don't want to even talk NIL with the players. It's a whole other meeting that the player has with a different person on the staff where the player is going to say, hey, just so you know, Florida State's offering me $1 million.
Yep.
And then either they have a budget then that they know they can offer them, or they say, okay, we'll get back to you. But then Colorado might say, okay, well, we can't give you $1 million, but we're willing to give you $650,000. But again, that happens separate from the head coach. The head coach probably has a larger understanding of what's going on, what the goals are, what the budget is, type of thing. But they're not having like direct conversation. Coach Prime isn't calling up, a booster directly in most situations, saying, "Hey, we need $1 million for this kid."
Right.
It's like a little lower down the chain of command.
Corey and Box and those types of guys.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. There's all sorts of guys who are involved in that. And then I mean,
We can answer that, Alyssa. if
what's
you want.
crazy is that people. A lot of these schools are offering kids stuff that they don't have. And part of me gets it. It's just like Rick George, right? How are you going to pay Coach Prime's contract? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
How are you going to pay for Jordan Seaton? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out, though. I get it, but then at the same time, there needs to be some sort of regulation put in place so that these kids can't get screwed over.
Right.
Like a Jaden Rashada, who gets told one thing, shows up, and they're like, oh, actually, we'll get back to you on that.
Even guys who've been in it for a while, like DJU.
Yeah. They're like...
I mean, that's a crazy situation, but...
Florida's telling him, like, well, see, the thing is, I got a checking account and a savings account.
Yeah.
And I need to transfer some funds over. So, yeah, we got to figure out something. Like, there should be contracts involved if we're going to do this.
Yep.
Not just handshake agreements.
We definitely need a restructuring of rules, at least.
Yeah.
If not many aspects of how this sport works.
Totally. And when you do it this way, the people who are willing to be more sketchy are the ones who are rewarded.
Yep. Of course. I mean, Texas A&M.
Yes.
All right. Nicholas wrote it in the chat. See, you offered Jamori Macklin. This is, remember Jeremy Macklin?
Yes.
At Missouri.
I remember him. Those were in our Big 12 days. I remember me some Jeremy Macklin.
Yep, and the Philadelphia Eagles. He is his cousin. He plays for North Texas, 5'11", 185. Had 57 receptions for 1,004 yards and 11 touchdowns last season.
Whoa.
Yeah.
50 for 1,000?
57 for 1,000. 17.6.
Wow.
Average. He was a Conference USA all freshman team last year. Played in all 14 games last year, and blew up this year. Obviously,
who were the two? There was two guys that Missouri had. Jeremy Macklin,
Dorial Green Beckham.
No, before him. I don't know. I feel like there was a second guy who was like just the second coming of Jeremy Macklin, or Jeremy Macklin was the second coming of another guy.
I remember Dorial Green Beckham.
Yeah, that was a little bit later, I think. Wasn't he also a bust?
He was. He had issues, though, like off the field issues.
Okay.
I'll try and find it. And then last question from Ray. Well, Ryan Staub follows Sean Lewis. Ryan Staub was committed to Colorado before this coaching staff even got here.
Yep.
He really wanted to come to Colorado, obviously. And this coaching staff saw something in him, so they re-offered him, and he held on to his commitment. Sean Lewis did offer Danny O'Neal, though, at San Diego State.
Mm-hmm. Danny O'Neal's now, like, throwing shade.
Is he really?
Yeah, remember? He was in the article.
Oh, he was in that article we read yesterday. Yep.
I don't know. I have a feeling about Ryan Staub. Now, I could be totally wrong, and I might just look like an idiot in like 3 days when he enters the portal. I kind of have a feeling that he envisions his path here. And he's like, okay, like, I got so much better from when I set foot on campus to week 12. I'll have one more year to keep getting better, and then I think I can be the starter.
Look, man. There's a very real chance if Coach Prime doesn't come here, Ryan Staub's the starter all year this last year.
It's possible. Yeah. I almost wonder if they would have had like hit the portal and just got some other guy. Mm-hmm. I'm so relieved when I see all these quarterbacks hit the portal because I'm like, man, back in the day I would have just been so butthurt when we got none of them.
I know. Michigan State's all their quarterbacks have entered the portal. Did you see that?
People are I shouldn't have said this, but people are asking what Danny O'Neal said.
I can try and dig it up. Were you thinking of Denario Alexander?
Nope.
At Missouri? That dude was a dog.
Nope.
Oh, how do I find this?
Are you talking about now the Danny O'Neal comments?
Yeah, I think I can pull this up if you buy me a little bit of time here.
Yeah, so, I mean, going back to Ryan Staub a little bit, it could go either way. It could really go either way. If he wants to go, like, this is not trying to knock him down at all, but, like, if he wanted to go be the starter at, like, North Texas, for example, he probably could get that opportunity this year. And maybe there's a even G5 or a higher G5 or even a lower Power 5, Power 4, I guess I have to start learning to say, that would have him come be their starter. But there's something to be said for developing and taking your time. And that was how it used to be in college football. You know, you just talked about like Tom Brady but like that's how it used to be, is like you came in, you sat for 2 years, and then if you started your junior and senior year or redshirt sophomore on, like that was a good career. Now you've got guys who are starting half the time, like Dante Moore is like, I'm out.
Right. Last name I'll throw at you. Justin Gage. Is that who you're thinking of? In Missouri?
That sounds a little more familiar.
Anyways, in this Athletic article from yesterday, it's just a short quote, but he decommitted, citing the, quote, possibility of coaching changes and instability across the board, end quote.
Instability across the board is what I read as shade.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously Sean Lewis's guy. That's what he was referring to.
Yes. The thing for me, and I think it was Blue Blood Bias or whatever who pointed this out the other day.
Yeah.
And just like made it plain. But it's nothing out of the ordinary has happened this offseason for Colorado. Nothing.
No.
Tim Brewster goes somewhere else. Happens all the time.
Sean Lewis got a head coaching gig.
Got hired as a head coach somewhere else. That's actually positive. What's the word I'm looking for? Attrition.
Yeah.
Like it happened for a good reason. Obviously, there's more at play there. And then a couple players who didn't play have transferred. I mean, Colorado couldn't be having a more normal offseason so far. And anytime something happens, everyone freaks the hell out.
Not even close to the most tumultuous offseason of anyone in college football. Like, not even top 10,
it's not
15, 20.
It doesn't even register on the tumultuous scale.
No.
Everything that's happened is totally normal.
Absolutely. We have a conference, we have a head coach, and we have a quarterback.
Yeah.
How many other schools can all say those three things?
Probably like 30.
There you go.
It's funny. I actually think that Blue Blood Bias account is hilarious because they're like doubling down on Coach Prime to try to just like troll the trolls, kind of like you were doing.
Yeah.
But did you see what they said today? So
did they lose all their credibility that they've been building up?
No, not against Coach Prime.
Okay.
They just did something that I thought was really funny. So they posted about Coach Prime being Sports Person of the Year.
Right.
And they put all of these bullet points about all he did. So like all of that's normal. And then on the last line, it just says, Deion is the college football coach of the decade. And then it says coach of the decade on,
Let's go.
on the graphic. And I'm just like, oh my God. I know they're just like twisting the knife. You know what I mean? Like they know they're going to rile people up by just like taking the praise that Coach Prime already got and then like quintupling down on it.
Yes.
It was hilarious. I cracked up.
No, that's the part we're at in this cycle.
Yep.
Like we've become trolled so much over the last year that we've become too self-aware to notice when we are being trolled. So we're able to now flip that back on the trolls.
This is really existential.
That's just what I realized that like on Tuesday or whatever. That's why I did it. I was like, I can see all this shit too easily now. So I was like, you know what? I'll just throw some bait out there. Let's just see who bites.
That's awesome.
And hook, line, and sinker all day.
Yep. It's fun. You have to know it's fun, though, or else you can fuck you up.
Right. Of course. Thank you, Kamada. All right. Good show. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know, man. Stay tuned. It can get wild on a moment's notice.
As I tweeted when I posted the show today, the off season is the on season. We're just getting started.
No doubt.
As evidenced by our numbers the last 3 days.
For real. Welcome back, viewers, also.
Yep. Hit the like.
Hit the like on your way out. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.